The Bluetooth speaker on the credenza was already connected. I checked twice.
My sister Margot was mid-laugh, holding a glass of Malbec that cost $42. My husband Declan was smiling at her across the table. His parents sat to my left. My mother sat to my right. 11 people total. Thanksgiving dinner in our Lakeview brownstone, Chicago. The one we bought 8 months ago for $1.2 million. I held my phone under the table. The recording was queued. 48 hours of audio, time-stamped, compressed into one file. I didn't need to press play yet. I wanted to watch them a little longer. Declan touched Margot's wrist when he laughed. Just for a second. His fingertips on her skin. No one else noticed. I noticed. 3 weeks earlier, I was sitting in my office on the 40th floor of the Kemper building. Corner office, floor-to-ceiling windows facing Lake Michigan. I was a senior analyst at a private equity firm. I made $280,000 a year. Declan didn't work. We had a 6-month-old daughter named Reese. I was bored. It was 2:14 p.m. on a Wednesday. I opened the home security app on my phone just to check on Reese. We had a Nest camera in the nursery. High definition, night vision, two-way audio. The screen was black. At first, I thought the app crashed. I closed it, reopened it, still black. I checked the living room camera. That one worked fine. I could see our couch, the coffee table, the credenza with the Bluetooth speaker we got as a wedding gift. I went back to the nursery feed, still black. Then I heard a voice. Not the nanny. We didn't have a nanny on Wednesdays. Declan was home. The voice was female. I turned up the volume on my phone, pressed it against my ear. Oh, not saying it's a good idea. I'm just saying she wouldn't notice. That was Margot, my younger sister, 29 years old, unemployed for the last 6 months, living in a studio in Wicker Park that I helped her pay for. Declan's voice. She checks the accounts every Sunday. Then we do it on Monday, transfer it back by Saturday. I sat there, stared at the black screen. The audio was crystal clear. How much do you need? Declan asked.
15, maybe 20.
1,000? Yeah. I didn't move. The phone was hot against my ear. The startup thing isn't real, is it? Declan said. Margot laughed. No, but she believed it. He laughed too. I opened my banking app, checked the transfers from the last 4 months. There it was. June 12th, $15,000 to Margot Whitley. Memo. Startup loan, M. I'd written that memo myself. The audio kept going. Does she know you come over on Wednesdays? Margot asked. She thinks I'm alone with Reese. What if she checks the camera? She never does. She's too busy. I looked at the black screen. Then I understood. Someone taped over the lens. Electrical tape, probably. But they forgot the camera has a microphone. Bandwidth issue. That's what I told myself later. The video cut out because the tape blocked the sensor. But the audio kept running. I didn't hang up. I didn't close the app. I just sat there and listened. They talked for another 20 minutes. About money. About me. About how I worked 80-hour weeks and didn't notice anything anymore. Margot said, she married her job. Declan said, I married a paycheck. I waited until they stopped talking. Then I opened my laptop. I went to the Nest account settings, downloaded the last 72 hours of audio files, saved them to an encrypted folder. Then I went back to work. That night, I came home at 8 p.m. Declan was in the kitchen. Reese was asleep. He kissed me on the cheek, asked me how my day was. I said, fine. We ate leftover Thai food. We watched an episode of something on Netflix. I don't remember what. I kept looking at him, trying to see if anything was different. It wasn't. He looked the same, acted the same, smiled the same. I went to bed at 11. He fell asleep in 9 minutes. I know because I counted. I got up at midnight, went to the nursery, peeled the electrical tape off the camera lens. It was black Scotch tape, 2 layers. I didn't throw it away. I put it in a Ziploc bag, labeled it, stored it in my gym bag. The next day, I bought a voice-activated recorder on Amazon. $49. I hid it under the couch in the living room. I also called a forensic accountant. Her name was Dr. Yuna Choi. She worked out of an office in the Loop. I paid her $3,000 up front to audit our joint accounts. She called me back in 4 days. "You've been moving money to your sister consistently since March," she said. "Total outflow, $48,200. "I know about the $15,000, I said. "There's more. Venmo transfers, 6 of them, between $800 and $2,000 each, all to Declan's personal account first, then forwarded to an account under the name Margot Whitley. I wrote it down, $48,200. "Anything else?" I asked. "Your husband has a separate credit card you're not on. Opened in May. He's been paying it off from the joint account, about $1,200 a month." "What's he buying?" "Hotels, restaurants, Uber rides." I thanked her, hung up. That night, Margot came over for dinner. Declan made pasta. Margot brought wine. We sat at the table, the 3 of us. I asked her how the startup was going. She said, "Slow, but I think we're close to a breakthrough." I nodded. I said, "Let me know if you need more capital." She looked at Declan. He looked at me. "That's generous," Margot said. "I appreciate it." We clinked glasses. I didn't drink mine. For 2 weeks, I played the perfect wife. I came home early. I held Reese. I asked Declan about his day. I complimented his cooking. Every Wednesday, I checked the app. The video was always taped over. The audio always worked. I listened to everything. They talked about leaving. Not immediately, maybe in a year, after I made partner, after the bonus hit. Declan said, "If we wait until she makes partner, the payout is close to $500,000. Margot said, "Illinois is a no-fault state. She'd get half of everything, but you'd get half too. Plus alimony. She'd have to pay your lawyer fees." They laughed. I didn't. I recorded 48 hours total. Across 3 weeks, I had timestamps, dates, exact quotes. On November 10th, I invited everyone to Thanksgiving dinner. My parents, Declan's parents, Margot, Declan's brother, a few friends, 11 people. I told Declan I wanted to host. He thought it was sweet. Thanksgiving Day. Everyone arrived at 4 p.m. Declan cooked a turkey. I bought wine. Expensive wine. 3 bottles at $42 each. Margot showed up late. She always showed up late. We ate. We talked. Declan's father told a story about fishing. My mother asked about Reese. Normal conversation. I waited until dessert. Declan brought out pumpkin pie. I stood up. I said I wanted to make a toast. Everyone looked at me. I held up my glass. I said, "I'm thankful for family, for trust, for the people who show you who they really are." Declan smiled. Margot smiled. I pulled out my phone. "I want to play something," I said. Declan's smile faded. Just a little. I opened the Bluetooth settings. The speaker on the credenza was already connected. I tested it that morning. I pressed play. The first voice was Margot. "Not saying it's a good idea. I'm just saying she wouldn't notice." Declan's face went white. The room went silent. The audio kept going, 48 hours condensed into 18 minutes. I cut the boring parts, kept the important ones. Margot saying she married her job. Declan saying, "I married a paycheck." The discussion about the startup. The $15,000. The plan to wait until I made partner. Declan stood up. He said, "Turn it off." I didn't. His father said, "What is this?" My mother said, "Quinn." Margot tried to grab my phone. I stepped back. The audio kept playing. Declan's voice. "Does she know you come over on Wednesdays?" Margot's voice. "She thinks you're alone with Reese." Declan started to speak. Margot just stood there. The recording ended. No one spoke. I looked at Margot. I said, "You owe me $48,200. I want it by Monday." She didn't say anything. I looked at Declan. I said, "My lawyer will call you tomorrow." Then I walked out. I stayed at a hotel that night. The Langham. $340 a night. I charged it to the joint account. Declan called me 16 times. I didn't answer. Margot sent me a text. I'm sorry. I blocked her number. My lawyer's name was Catherine Reeves. She worked at a firm that cost $650 an hour. I didn't care. I filed for divorce on November 26th. Adultery, fraud. I had the recordings. I had the bank statements. I had the forensic accountant's report. Illinois is a no-fault state, but fault still matters in asset division. Declan hired a lawyer, a bad one. He couldn't afford a good one because I froze the joint account. The case took 4 months. I got the house. I got full custody of Reese. Declan got supervised visitation every other weekend. He had to pay back $48,200. The judge ordered wage garnishment. He got a job at a consulting firm. He made $52,000 a year. Margot disappeared. I heard she moved to Denver. I don't know if that's true. Declan's parents stopped talking to me. My mother said I was cruel. I said I was thorough. I sold the house in April. I didn't want to live there anymore. Too many voices in the walls. I bought a condo in Streeterville, smaller, quieter. No Nest cameras. Reese is 2 now. She doesn't remember any of it. Sometimes I think about that Wednesday in November. The black screen, the audio still running. People think technology makes you safer. It doesn't. It just shows you the truth. And the truth is, most people are exactly who they are when they think no one is watching. Declan thought the camera was off. He forgot it has audio. Like and subscribe for more.